Okay, folks, I'd like to welcome you to another post-game conversation where you get to hear directly from Tribe football alums. For this episode, we have Mr. Steve Cluley. How you doing, Steve?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing well, man. I think we've been talking to each other off and on for probably about 2 years now. And we did you were featured in one of our newsletters, and now it's time for a video. So I'm really excited to have you on. And it's been really cool, catching up with you over the last, I guess, week or so, trying to, plan this whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm excited to be here, share my story, and appreciate you having me on too.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Steve, tell us the what position you play for those who don't know, the year you graduated, and your major.
For sure. So I graduated in 2017. I played quarterback at William and Mary, and I majored in kinesiology and health sciences.
Nice, nice. And so, we normally talk a little bit about the journey to William and Mary. We're going to go a little bit off the beaten path a little bit, but trust me, folks, it'll make sense at the end. So tell us, like, in addition to football, before coming to William and Mary, tell us what you were really into.
Yeah, for sure. So growing up, I'm from the Jersey Shore, Manasquan, New Jersey. So I was fortunate enough to be by the beach. So growing up, big beach boy, love the ocean, love the sand, anything involving that, sign me up. I was also very fortunate. If it wasn't summer months, in the winter, we were skiing somewhere up in Vermont, or we were out west skiing at some resort out in the Rockies or California somewhere. Really into winter sports, skiing, bobsledding, X Games sports, kind of all that stuff. Kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything growing up. But as most of you know and saw, football came out on top, quarterback position in particular. But yeah, it's kind of was a busy childhood and always active and kind of love all that stuff.
That's so awesome. Well, yeah, and we're all glad that you chose William and Mary. So tell us about your time at William and Mary.
Yeah, for sure. So I had an absolute blast. Wouldn't have traded my experience looking back for the world. Everything from Coach Laycock to the players I interacted with in my time, alumni. We got the new stadium in my time there.
I'm a
Just
little
everything
jealous
about William
about
and
that.
Mary. Everything about William and Mary was just a very special place. I left in a great place. I think I was a 3-year starter. Had a lot of great experience. Won a lot of football games. One in particular, I'll just share real quick, was the JMU game. I think it was 2015 or 2015, if I remember correctly. The year we won the CAA championship that year. But I remember that was a rough game. I started with a pick. There was a pick or a pick six early. Either way, we were down early. Had to right the ship, battle back, and we ended up winning on the last drive of the game, if I remember correctly. So that's kind of something that'll always stick in my brain forever. But in short, my time at William Mary, awesome, great friends still to this day. Still talk to a lot of people, and the support system and just everything about William Mary is a special place.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think I don't know if we beat JMU at all while I was there. If we did,
It
maybe
was always
one
a tough
time.
one.
They were always tough, man. Um, okay, so you finished up at William and Mary 2017, and so tell us about your journey from when you graduated to where you are today.
Yeah, so I apologize in advance. I'll keep this as short and sweet, concise, whatever you want to call it, as I can. In short, right after I graduated William and Mary, I did in January of 2017. Moved out to California with another William and Mary alumni, actually Todd Durkin. So I did my pro day training with Todd Durkin out in San Diego, old quarterback for the Tribe. Um, After I did that, I was very fortunate to get a shot with the New York Giants at rookie minicamp. Did that. Nothing really stuck. Had some private workouts here and there. Actually ended up signing a contract to go overseas. So I played 2 seasons over in Germany for the Frankfurt Universe at the time. I actually unfortunately blew my knee out the first year, had surgery over there, came back for the second year, was under contract for a third. Unfortunately, the third year was 2020. So we all know what happened in 2020. COVID came around, messed everyone's life up and plans. So like I said, my plans got changed. I was not going back for a third season, kind of had to figure out life. I ended up by New York City as an energy commodities broker. Um, Working in that industry for about a year, it was cool. Learned a ton of information about that, the stock markets and all that, but it just wasn't for me. Actually, full circle, Todd Durkin reached out to me again right when I was looking for like something new and exciting to move on to, and he had become the GM of an arena football team out in San Diego, and was just like, "Hey, don't know what you're doing. You're my first pick if you want it." I said, "Sign me up. Let me get out there." So went out there, did that. Had a blast doing that. That was a unique experience in itself. Stories for another day as well. And then from there, I actually signed a contract, call me crazy, to go play professional rugby. So I moved from arena football to Denver, Colorado to play for the American Raptors in Super Rugby of the Americas. I was playing wing and fullback and learning the sport of rugby, which was very unique and different from football. I learned very quickly, especially as a quarterback, that if you run out of bounds in rugby, it is a turnover, and that is a no-go. So yeah, my quarterback instincts went out the window in that sport. But again, story for another day. I had an absolute blast though. I fell in love with the sport of rugby. I think it was just something different, challenging. As an athlete, I wanted to challenge myself. Can I go play another professional sport? Like, I had no idea what I was signing up for. Um, yeah, loved it. Had a great time, and that kind of segued into evaluating where I'm at in my life. Okay, I'm 30 years old now. That season ended. I kind of am ready to, I'm really satisfied with my football career, really satisfied with all that, ready to move into a career, which I've been kind of slowly doing right now, whether that's aviation. I started a QB school. I work as a trainer out here in Colorado because that's my passion, as you guys know. But so basically, I segued the rugby thing and being in such good shape into something I've always wanted to do, which is bobsled. Yes, interesting, I know. So yeah, the past 2 months, I've been up at Lake Placid, essentially on and off, learning to bobsled, and quote unquote trying out to see if they see me as someone worth investing in the program in the future. And I was able to do well enough to stay around. And I'm actually heading to USA Bobsled Driving School or Pilot School to learn how to drive the bobsled here in a week. In about a week, I leave. So yeah, kind of segueing life into that. It's also a great sport that allows me to start a career and also continue to compete athletically. Kind of like pick up basketball, if you will, but you can go to the Olympics and still compete at an older age. So kind of fulfilled that competitiveness in me. But yeah, super unique. That's kind of where I'm at right now. In short, sorry for that being so long, but yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome. So yeah, you go from William and Mary quarterback to Olympic athlete. That's about right.
We trying. One day.
Yeah. I can't say anything near that. But so before we get out of here, you and I have talked about it, and so your journey as far as an Olympic athlete is a long journey, and it requires resources. Tell us about how we can help you in your journey, with bobsled, USA bobsledding.
For sure. So I am new to the sport, so I'm still learning as well. But what's very unique about this is bobsledding is very self-funded, if you will, from the actual individual athletes until you can reach a certain point in the program where now you are maybe getting some money from the USA bobsled or sponsorship money or whatever it may be. But the initial dive into the sport, if you will, like I am doing, is very expensive. We kind of talked about it a little bit. It's almost like starting your own business. So the way bobsled works is, in loose terms, are the pilots are the owners of their company. So the driver of each sled owns the sled, and then they essentially pick their teammates or coworkers to push their sled that they drive down the track. And that is very locked. That is very self-funded. That is very competitive to whose sled you want to be on, because obviously the best driver want the best pushers. here and there. But yeah, it's very self-funded. I actually was able to start a GoFundMe to start, as much, and I'll be the first one to admit I hate asking for money. My goal in the future, moving forward, now that I am in the sport, would to be have more active fundraising events or whatever it may be. But just here off rip, just getting new into the sport, trying to get things off the ground here. Ready for a phone call if they ask me to come race. It is very expensive out of pocket. Just trying to cover some costs. Anything helps from like I'll put that towards traveling, food, training, the sled equipment, whatever it may be, bobsled. So I know times are tough or whatever, but anything could help greatly in my pursuit of that sport.
Awesome. Awesome. And we'll post the link and your contact information when we post the video, as well as in the newsletter. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
Man, you William Mary people are the best. Tribe pride for life. Don't worry. Big game coming up this weekend. Hopefully we can finish the season strong. But yeah, I appreciate all y'all, and one tribe, one family forever, for real.
Thanks, Steve.